property exemption to $125,000. It used to be that you didn't have to pay tax if you had less than $2,500. That's a pretty massive increase. And they put some protections in the law to make it so it was by location. You could easily see, there being Tepper's Hardware. We got Tepper's Hardware nuts and bolts. That's under 125. We got Tepper Hardware Plumbing. That's under 125. We got Tepper Hardware filters. So there's some protections in there to protect against that kind of gaming with the system. And so there's been some meetings with appraisal districts and their attorneys to make sure that everybody can kind of get on the same page and give that info to the software companies. Additionally, 2 years ago, they did an increase in the homestead exemption. They did an disaster. So see Ms. Hoyt looking at me, nodding her head in fervent agreement. They've done the same changes this time, so there is the potential. What I am really hopeful for is that having gone through this 2 years ago, all we're doing now is changing the number from 100 on the homestead to 140 and whatever the new maximum compressed rate is. So I'm very optimistic that's going to go smoother than it did
Do we
last
know
time.
what they can promise they compressed it?
No, we don't know that yet. And we actually won't know that because what they end up doing is they give a certain amount of dollars to TEA to buy down the school tax rate, which is different than like the $8.5 billion that you may have heard about that they also put into public schools above and beyond what they've done. And then once TEA gets that number, they figure out what will be the new maximum compression rate for each individual school district, and we won't get that until a little bit.
Yeah, I thought some number kicking around like 6.8 cents or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is sort of a target number. I don't know what it is, but it fluctuates from school district to school district, and TEA gives you what the ultimate number is.
So the good thing is we already went through the heartache probably 2 years ago, and now it's just switching numbers, right? The program and the software is figured out, so I think it'll be a more smoother process. And like I said, it seems like they're being a lot more proactive now than they were 2 years ago. So that's where we're at. So lots to come. The only other thing I have is our next meeting on August 26th. I didn't have much this meeting, so unless you all have any questions.
Any sickness? Anybody have major issues? Okay. Okay, now number 9.
Thanks, Tony.
All right, please save your difficult questions for Ryan. It's already. All right, so first we're gonna take a look at our profit and loss budget performance in the packet. A couple things Ryan wanted me to point out was line item 5170 on your first page. That's for the emergency service district number 2. We have not yet received their third quarter payment. Skipping to page 3. On line item 7920 towards the top of your page for repairs and supplies, we're currently at 98.34% of usage. This is due to, we've had some HVAC issues recently that we had to call and get fixed. Also with our external magnetic locking system, kind of our access into the building. Been choosing which days it wants to work and which days it does.
Hey, Tanner, hang on one second.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeffrey,
Yes,
was that ESP2, and from wing to penalty?
So there is, I'm gonna be honest with you, we send out paper mail, Pam emails everybody. I don't think it's them. Kenwood you've been in contact with.
ESP2, I have not gotten one response.
So there will be a penalty to answer your question.
And I know we've struggled with ESPs because they meet once in a month,
Right.
whatever.
Right.
Yeah, well, I don't understand about that. You got ESD pickup, right?
Yeah, it's the same
Okay,
person.
it's the same person. Right, student performance, but yeah, they're ESD 2 and 3 work the same,
It's probably the oversight.
so I, yeah. And I mean, I know the CFO down there, she's normally pretty good. And it.
I mean, I-
That'd be strange.
Who's the CFO?
Well, I'm trying, now you asked me, I can't. I see her right here and I can't think of her name.
That's funny, we can't get a call back from Angela, she's usually.
That's what I mean, maybe you're not, maybe check to make sure you're talking to Angela, I can get her some of her.
No, we have her contact
have her number?
information,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's gotta be something goofy here, if 3 paid and 2 didn't, I mean.
I don't think that.
And I can't imagine the ESD 2 boards that don't pay.
This be a better return on money than if they pay, we put it in the bank. Like that.
You're back.
So the only thing I'm gonna say,
Like, where's my tax? I don't want to give any more reason to do that.
the only thing I'm gonna say, and this isn't point fingers, but this isn't anything new. This has been going on for a long time in the contributions. I mean, it's been a normal process from year to year. Why people don't pay and us not being able to get in contact with them, I've got no information as to why we don't get that information, so.
Hemphill, is that her name, Hemphill?
Angela?
Angela Hemphill, yeah. Yes. But we can get it, and to answer your question, yes, sir, if we haven't received the payment, there will be a penalty and they'll have to address the board to have that penalty waived.
All right, one last thing under repairs and supplies, kind of explain that 98% usage. We also did install some safety features on our side entrance for the staff when they come in and out of the building towards the fleet vehicles. We put out handrail and parking blocks for the cars. Can't really see the edge of the curb, and so we had cars sticking out. We didn't want them to get hit or stuff off the edge. Next point, I wanted to point out was towards the bottom of the page under contract services, 8602 for legal services. We only have 21% usage. That is based off of the invoices covering January to March.
That's only first quarter.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is all I have to point out on the P&L, unless there's any questions.
Not to put, the legal services on the spot here, but, any concern with that into the future, where we're at?
No, I think we're probably in good shape. We had a few things that were really pretty hot and heavy during the first quarter. We were still under the 25% for the first quarter, so I would fully expect that item, unless something blows up here that we don't see yet, we will be under budget for that for the remainder of the year.
And I agree with Mr. Tepper. Remember, a lot of these cases that we've settled out and had to take care of in past years, we've also came to an agreement on the 2025 year, so they have no opportunity to sue or move forward. So I think we're in a pretty good spot. So.
Okay, there's also a balance sheet there for your viewing. That balance sheet is as of June 30th, 2025. Lastly, I have the investment summary. All right, so we had one treasury bill mature between May 1st and June 30th. We did open some new treasury bills with the fund balance held over from the 2024 year and use the money from the previously matured treasury bill to open a new one. At the top in that first chart, you'll see we have 3 treasury bills that are due to mature here shortly by the end of August. Our money market account has earned $1,319.02 in interest, has a current rate of 3.68%. On your next page, we have the funds total. Like Ryan said, this is new that he wanted to share with you. It's just a breakdown of the investment funds and how they've been allocated or committed. So there's numbers below what's committed to capital, committed to litigation, healthcare, income assignment, and our committed compensated absences fund.
And obviously, these funds, the board can use however they would like. This is just how they're committed right now and how we set them up moving forward, so.
If you have questions, I'll do my best to answer. If not, I'll make sure Ryan's here next.
I don't know, you were a lot quicker.
Straight to the point.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Next up, agenda item number 10, discussion and possible action adoption of the ComalAD Appraisal District 2026 budget.
So the district does recommend that we adopt the budget that was passed at the previous board meeting. We haven't received any feedback or anything from any entities. So our recommendation would be to adopt the budget as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve to adopt the ComalAD Appraisal District 2026 budget as presented at $6,308,654.27. Second.
Motion, Mr. Carroll, second by Mr. Slivik, the adoption of the 2026 appraisal budget as presented. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. All right. A lot of work that goes into those. A lot of crystal balls. Agenda item number 11, discussion and possible action approval of the discussion and possible action approve Just Appraised contract.
If you don't mind, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to talk about 11 and 12 at the same time. They are both just appraised. One is for processing business personal property. Agenda item number 12 is for homestead exemption and ag applications. So Just Appraised we've been using over the last year for our deeds processing has been actually it's been awesome, and their startup process is awesome and has had minimal errors moving through all of it. So to process these exemptions, these funds have been approved for 2026. We found funds to take care of the small startup fee that Just Appraised is requiring for 25, which is $15,000. And I ask for y'all's approval so we can initiate these contracts and move forward so we can get the process started sooner than later. So,
Question,
yes, sir.
we've had law change on both 11 and 12. Raised the personal property, plus that homestead hounding that they started in 23, they backed off that.
Mhm.
Right.
One of the things on the homestead, and we actually, the plan that we had adopted when we originally contracted with them to look at that actually follows what the law is now. So we were a little bit ahead of the game. What some districts were doing was is the first action out of the gate. They were either asking property owners to reapply for their homestead, or they were sending them something asking them to verify that it still was their homestead. And what the law is now we can't ask anyone to do it unless we have a real reason to think that they don't. And that's the way our program works, is the company goes out, they flag those that look like there might be an issue with it. They come back, they do a round of follow-up, and then we get a much smaller pool of ones that we actually think might not qualify anymore. And with them, we'll be able to comply because we'll be able to send them a letter and say, we think you might not qualify because you have another homestead here, or we show you change your driver's license or whatever it was. So I actually commend the board. Some of the changes we made were ahead of the game, and we anticipated, I think, where some of the legislation was going to go.
But just to be clear, Mr. Johnson, this is Just Appraised. So this is just processing the application without the human interaction. TrueRoll is the one that goes through and actually audits our records and gives us a list to say, hey, we need you to look at these 200 accounts and see if they qualify.
How many homestead applications are online right now?
Are online.
People are applying, they would use this.
Oh, gosh, they don't use TrueRoll right now. Once this is implemented, I mean, they use our online system, but I mean, it's thousands. Yeah. With this process is, like with deeds right now, it goes through and identifies everything, legal descriptions, things like that, names, and it cross-references all of it. And then we go in and double check it, or we can just approve it once we trust the process. This is gonna be the same thing. It's basically gonna process the application for us. So,
Just to add to that too, yes, I think it will improve things. What we've also asked for is if someone turns in a paper copy over the counter, we will have a program that takes everything on that application and puts it online so it can run through this same process. So we expect that to be a enormous help as well.
Because right now, how long is the average homestead application taking?
it's gonna take about 60 to 90 days. It's taken us 3 months. This is gonna take that human interaction out of it. We can still QC it and hopefully potentially make us be quicker at doing all those things. So, outside of adding staff, which is gonna be more of a cost. So,
Have they told us how quickly they think they can process it, or is it pretty much an individual thing?
so Dora's awesome, right?
Right.
She's quick. It actually slowed down Dora, but gives us more opportunities to do other things. So their turnaround time for deeds is a week to 2 weeks. So it's fairly quick.
Yeah, that's not bad. Homestead exception.
Right. Where she was 2 days behind.
Or does it quicker than that?
Yeah, she does. Yeah. She can't do anything else, but she does it quicker. So I think it'll definitely help improve the district, help us be more, taxpayer friendly, efficient, things like that, and streamline things. So. And like I said, for 2026, this was already budgeted for. We're just trying to start the process early.
I'll motion to approve the district contract for 2026.
The BPP.
What's BPP sample?
Business.
Business personal property.
Mr. Brown, second by Mr. Miller. Any other discussion? Those in favor, please raise your right hand. Motion carries. Agenda item number 12. Be the just appraised contract homestead exemptions and ad applications.
I'll make a motion to approve the just price contract for homestead exemptions and ag applications as presented.
Motion by Mr. Miller, only because I heard him, was probably a little bit louder. Second by Mr. Brown. Any other discussions? All right, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Motion carries. Sorry, Kristen. Agenda item number 13, discussion of possible action approve the TCDRS plan assessment for 2026.
Yes, sir. So in y'all's packet, y'all have a 2026 plan and a 2025 plan. The 2026, it shows that we were 91.4% funded. And it shows our required rate and our elected rate. Our required rate is 13.59. District pays in 20.00. If you look at the 2026 plan, it puts us our funded ratio at 92.7. Our required and elected rate did stay the same.
That's an unbelievable number.
It is. I mean, we're paying in more than we should be paying in, so we're knocking it down pretty quick going out throughout the year, but.
But unfunded pensions are killing a lot of
We
organizations.
started on this back in about 2006 or 7. I mean, we were under.
Yeah, I remember
70%.
that. We're-
Yeah,
So with that, the district recommends that we approve the TCDRS plan for 2026 as presented.
Move to approve the TCDRS plan assessment for 2026.
I started that.
Mr. Selby, second by Mr. Couch. What were we contributing back then? If we're at 22.
Can't remember, but Gary Bolt was kind of the big push on it. We started up and to get it caught up. I mean, but I think we were like 68%, something like that. I can't remember.
So I started in 2010 and I think we were just doing the required rate at that point,
Okay.
and then we increased it. I mean, that was
We
that was a
were
long
hard
time ago.
pushing it up.
Yeah.
And that was all behind, I mean, that was Gary's doing, it's his big deal.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Motion carries. Agenda item number 14, discussion of possible action to approve the 2025 through 2026 contract with Texas Association of Counties.
Yes, sir. So this is gonna be the district's health, dental, life insurance. Rates did go up. Health insurance, 6.2%, dental insurance, 12.7. And then life and vision, those stayed the same. In your packet, you can see the difference between the two. Obviously, the district does pay for all employees' insurance. If there's a spouse or children on that plan, it is up to the employer, but these are the rates that the district would pay per employee and the changes that were made.
Is this within the budget?
We did budget, I believe we budgeted for a 6% increase and we're a little higher than that. But I don't think we'll have any issue. To your point, Mr. Tyler, you said that crystal ball, and
Yeah.
we had to kind of estimate what they were gonna do without knowing, so. The district recommends approving as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2025-26 contract with Texas Association of Counties.
Motion by Mr. Long, second by Mr. Miller. Any other discussion?
That's per month,
For pay period,
per pay period.
for pay period,
Ooh, so I was thinking, yeah, that's.
it's a
that would
big
seem similar
increase,
to-
yeah.
Any other discussion? Okay. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. And motion carries. Right, that takes us to agenda item number 15, which is executive session. The Board of Directors on July 8th, 2025, beginning at 7:07 PM, convened an executive session in accordance with Chapter 551 of the Texas Open Meetings Act. And since we don't have our special room,